eating with people is not just a biological function. There is, I suppose, if you go back to the Last Supper, breaking bread with people, eating with people. It's a social and almost a spiritual experience at times. And you sit and you talk, and it's very important. You discuss what happens during the day. When you sit with your own children at the dinner table, it's all about discussing what you've done, how you felt, what you've done over the day with the people you've met. And I think that is so important. And I think it's something that we miss at Aiglon at the moment. I
can say that having a 15-year-old daughter, it's hard to get any kind of information out sometimes.
Yeah.
But there was something, because Hyde would be listening to two of us talking, and then he would know just the right thing to interject.
Yes.
And he could pull the information out in that way, that we wouldn't tell him directly.
And with the mixed tables we had at Aiglon, if you remember in Alpina, you sat down and you had your table. Were you there with Graham Lynn? No?
With who?
Graham Lynn? No, it must have been after.
No.
He was with Teddy.
Teddy.
Right.
Okay. Well, in a situation like that, you had mixed tables. You had fourth formers, fifth formers, sixth formers on the same table. You talked to people. And if you were a good tutor or a good teacher, you'd sit there and you'd let the third former or fourth former speak.
Right.
And you'd let them have their say, as well as the sixth form who sat at the top of the table.
So there weren't like six formers sitting together.
No.
We had a very important position. It was captain of the dining room.
Yeah.
And he sat with the housemaster and determined who sat next to each other.
I'm trying to remember, did we have a seating order?
Oh, we did.
I think
You did. You had to
yeah.
find it and then go in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now I remember.
Yeah, no, that was very true, and that's what happens. That's what did happen in Alpina until about 2 or 3 years ago.
Really? And why did they change that?
Was central
Because
dining?
Central dining.
Yeah.
Because central dining, the food you would not believe. It's like having. It is a good 2-3-star hotel now. And the food is excellent. There's no doubt about it.
Because I remember when I was there, Alpina was by far the best kitchen.
Yeah.
We had the best chef.
Yeah, because you cooked in houses.
Yeah.
Right.
But now then they went to a central kitchen down in Belvedere, and as a result of that, what happened was the food was then bussed around the campus, and it was never as good. And I think we have a gold star school, and we could go back to eating in houses and you could still have Belvedere and Exeter eating together in the dining area. You could still have all the other houses. Okay, it's going to cost more, but not that much more. And you could have chefs or people who are prepared to cook in each of the boarding houses. Okay, I don't know, but in many ways they were certainly the happiest days, and the school was very different then.
Well, I know that I don't know if it's an advantage, if it's a disadvantage, but we had no choice. But there was a real separation between the Delaware boys and the Alpina boys.
Absolutely.
The Exeter girls.
With good
and the Greenway
reason.
Girls. No, but and I think it's not a bad thing, because there was still unity in the classroom.
Yes.
But there was this identification with the dorm that you lived in. And of course, back then Delaware was Bertie Boas and Alpina was Teddy Say. And it's just, they're just unforgettable experiences. And I must say, given my experience, I was very grateful to have Teddy Say.
He was a remarkable man, really remarkable man.
And not only that, but also for English literature. And he taught me to love Shakespeare. Yes.
He said today that one of his failings was that he talked over the heads, and yet that's what pulled us.
Yes.
I learned words I never knew.
I think, you're right. I think at times it's very important to stretch all of us to aspire to greater things,
right,
rather than simply pander to the majority at
the level that they're at.
Exactly.
Where's the growth?
Yes. And Corlette was like that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I never met the man, but I wish I had. I think he was an inspirational person. When you pull up here by accident, and I had no idea of Kurt Hahn and Corlette before I arrived. And I went to a school in the UK as a boy, which practiced all these philosophies by chance, and it just happened that they agreed with what I do.
Which school was
It's a
that?
school called St Edward's in Oxford.
Oh, and they came up with
And
similar.
they had very similar principles. Right.
Although JC based the school on Gordonston, I think, as a model.
Yes, he did.
Right.
Can I introduce?